Hello everyone and welcome back to my Skillshop project series. In the previous video I have already explained the design of the product registration page using Tailwind CSS. In this video I will explain how I program the entire product registration process, including client-side validation, drag and drop image handling, sending data using Fetch API, secure backend validation, file uploading, database insertion and error handling. So let's get started step by step. Before moving on to the code, let us first update our ER diagram. So over here in the product layer, I have newly added a category table. So in this category table, I have two columns named ID and name, and the data type and varchar 100, and then this table has a relationship with the product table one to many, and this product has new columns added. So the first one is the level enum. So enum means that it is a string object used to restrict a column's value to a single predefined choice from a list of permitted values specified during table creation. It's useful for columns with limited, unchanging set of options such as pending, shipped, delivered or cancelled for an order status. So over here in this, I have added beginner, intermediate and advanced, and then for the status I have added data type enum, active and inactive. Now after that you can synchronize this database so that this will be updated. Okay, so first in the product register.php file, in the PHP scriptlet, first I have said that if a session is not started, then start a session. So this ensures that the session is started and we can access the logged in user data. And then I have the require once database connection over here, connection.php file. Then I have checked the remember me token if it exists. So this means that it checks if the user is logged in. If not, it verifies remember me token. So this prevents unauthorized access. Also, this authcheck.php file is also required once. And then I have here checked if the user is not logged in, then direct to the login page and then exit. This means it stops further execution. And then below that again in a if condition, string to lower. So this means that only sellers can register products, and this string to lower means the user role. So it means that if the seller is saved in capital letters, it won't be a problem and it will take you to the register products file. So this protects the buyers and the admin users. Next we will move on to require the header.php file. Now after that we will fetch the categories from the database. So to do that, in this query I have the variable category result. So in this query it does. So in this query it selects the category ID, category name from the category table and order by name. So this means it orders them alphabetically because you can populate the drop down list dynamically. So after that in a if condition I have said to get the category result from the query while the category is assigned to category result, so and fetch assoc. So this means it converts the database rows into an array and then makes them usable in the HTML. And below that we have the success message and the error message. So here you can see that if it is a success, it shows success. If not, it will show a error message. And then here in the success and error messages, I have added a PHP scriptlet to see if the success message is null, then echo the success message, and if not, then echo the error message. And now below that, here I have also got the categories from a PHP scriptlet. So here I have added for each categories as category, option value echo the category ID, and then the category name, and then finally end the for each condition. Now below the design, we have added a script, so you can include the JavaScript file over here. So now first we have taken the constant variables and the upload area, file input, image preview, preview image, remove image button, product form, form message. So here upload area dot add event listener click means that when you click on the upload area, you will get folder, so you can input the file. And then here this file input means that this changes this file input to handle the file select, so you can select the files. Then below that I have the drag and drop. Here in the upload area dot add event listener, drag over. So here this means that this prevents the default browser behavior, so you can drag over the image, and when you drag over the image in the upload area, the border of it becomes blue and the background becomes slightly blue. And then after that, the same thing happens when you drag and leave this upload area. It removes the border blue and the background blue color. And then after that, when you drop the image in the upload area, it also says here it again removes the border blue and the background blue color. And then here I have taken the constant variable files, and that is assigned to e.datatransfer.files. So this means that it programmatically assigns dropped file into the input. So here in the if condition, I have said that if the file dot length is greater than 0, then the constant data transfer is assigned to new data transfer. So this means it ensures the file is included in the form submission. Okay, so over here in this handle file select, we have here the file. So over here in the file validate file type, we have a condition the file type. So this means it gives the MIME type of the file. For example, the image JPG, image PNG, image WebP, and application PDF. Here it says starts with image and then slash. So this means because MIME types begins with image slash, so this means it allows the image slash JPG, image slash PNG, image slash GIF, and blocks the application and the text and the X files. After that, here in the validate file size, we have the constant variable maximum size. So this means this calculates 5 megabytes in bytes because the file size is measured in bytes. So now in a if condition, we have said that the file dot size is greater than the maximum size. So here it means that it gives the file size in bytes. If the file exceeds 5 megabytes, then show an error or stop the execution by saying image size must be less than 5 megabytes. And then in the next part we will create the preview. We have the constant variable reader and then assign it to a new file reader. So a file reader is a JavaScript API that reads file content and converts it to a readable format. Then we use this to convert the image into base64 and display preview before the upload. And when the reader on load, here this means that this runs after the file is successfully read. And then we have said that preview image dot source, and that is assigned to e.target.result. So this means that it contains the file converted into the base64 encoded image. So then we will assign this to this source, so the image appears instantly on the screen. And now we will remove the hidden class of the image preview from the class list, and then for the upload area the class list will be added hidden, and also for the form message this will happen, that the class list for this too will be hidden. And then lastly this will read the file and convert into a base64 URL and triggers the reader on load. Without this line nothing happens. So this is what actually starts the file reading process. Now we will move on to the form submission. So here we have taken the ID product form dot add event listener and then in quotes submit and then asynchronous e. So this is a parameter, and then we have inside this function. So this means that it listens for the form submission event. When the user clicks register product, this function runs. And so here e.prevent default means normally the form submission reloads the page and sends the data traditionally, but here we will prevent the page refresh and handle the submission using Ajax. This creates a smoother user experience. And after that we will collect the input values by validating them. So here I have the constant variable ID, product title, description, category, price, level, status and image. So here we have made a difference for the price. We have converted this price because the input values are always strings. But here, if a price is entered, we need a number for comparison. So it converts any number to a string. After validating the inputs, we will get the image file. So here this means that the file input.files is an array-like object. So since only one image is allowed, we take the first file and then we will get the client-side validation from here. Now here comes the validation chain. So first we have in a if-else condition, if the product title is null, then show the error product title is required. Else, if the product title dot length is greater than 150, then show the error product title must be less than 150 characters. Now over here, if the description is empty, then show the error product description is required. Else, if the description dot length is greater than 1000, then show the error product description must be less than 1000 characters. And else, if the category is not selected, then please select a category. Error is shown. And then for the price, if the price is empty or if the price is less or equal to 0, then show the error price must be greater than 0. Else, if, then again we have here checked the level. So if the level is not selected, then please select a level. Error is shown. Then again the status. If the status is not selected, then please select a status. And else, if the image is not selected, then it will show the error product image is required. And then in a else condition, we have said that the constant variable form data is assigned to new form data. So this means that the form data is special because it can send text plus files, and it can automatically set the multipart or the form data, and no need to set headers manually. So here we will append the fields using form data. So this attach the key value pairs, and then in the try condition we have said that constant response is assigned to await fetch. Here I have given the link to the product register process.php file. So here this means that this sends the post request and sends the image plus the text, and no page is reloaded because I have used asynchronous and await. This function waits until the server responds. And then below that we have the constant result is assigned to again await response.text. So this means I am expecting plain text from the PHP, and after the response is back, then it will show the result success. So result.trim means that it removes the extra spaces, new lines, and prevents fault comparison errors. And then it will show the window.location.link product register.php file success product registered successfully. Else it will show an error the result. So this means that if the PHP returns, it will show like invalid category, image is too large, or an database error. And then we will close the try catch block. So here the try wraps the fetch call, and the catch here catches the network error, server unreachable, or the JavaScript failure. And then this shows that error occurred, please try again. Also it shows the log errors for debugging, so you can go to the console and see the errors there. Okay, now below that we have the show error message. So in this we have a function show error, and then in brackets the message. So first we will get the form dot text content that is assigned to message. So this means this inserts the error text dynamically so that the alert box content changes based on the validation error. And then the form dot class name is changed to padding 4, rounded corners, background red 50, border red 200, text red 800, and margin bottom 6. So visually a red alert box appears. Then in here we have form dot class list dot remove hidden. So this means it removes the Tailwind's hidden class so that the message appears. And then in the next line, window dot scroll to top form message dot offset top 100 and behavior smooth. So this means that if the user is at the bottom of the page, they might not see the error at the top, or if the user is at the top of the page and they might not see the error at the bottom. So this means it scrolls smoothly to the message, improves user experience, makes it look like professional. The offset top 100 gives small spacing above it. Now below that we have the show success message. So for this we have a function called show success inside brackets the message. So here first we have the form.text content that is assigned to message like before. Then here also we will change the form.message class name to padding 4, rounded corners, background color is green 50, the border green 200, text green 800, and margin bottom 6. And then we will also remove the form message.class list hidden so that we can show the alert box. So let me explain you why we did this in separate functions. Because the error styling is in red, the success styling is in green. So this keeps the code clean and more readable. And it is also good separation of concerns. So over here we have a function named reset message element. So if the element appears, so this means this hides a message automatically after 5 seconds. And then lastly we have the auto hide alert box from PHP. So here we have a constant variable alert box that is assigned to document.getElementById alert box. So this means that this handles the success messages coming from the success product registered successfully. So when the page loads, the PHP might show the alert box success. So this means this JavaScript detects if it exists, then it hides it after 5 seconds. Now we will move on to the product register process.php file. So here in this we have a if condition. So it says that if a session is not started, then start a session. Then in the header we have the content type text plain. So this tells the browser that I will return plain text, not HTML. Why? Because my JavaScript expects constant result await response dot text. So this is a very clean AIP style response. And then I have required my database connection once. After that we have an authentication check. So if a user is not logged in, then echo unauthorized access. Now here we will check the user role, the active account type, and then in a if condition we have a condition. So only sellers can register products. So this prevents the buyers from inserting products and admin misuse. And after that we will get the post data safely. So here we will get the variable product title, description, category ID, price, level, status. And here we will use trim because it removes the extra spaces and invisible characters. And over here we have used interval and float variable. So this means it prevents string injection, invalid numeric values, because it is very important for the security. Now we will move on to the server side validation. So even though I have already validated it in the JavaScript, I also have to validate again in here because the client side validation can be bypassed. First I have the product title validation. If the product title is empty, then echo product title is required. Then in a else if string length, check the product title's length. If it's greater than 150, then echo product title must be less than 150 characters. Then in another is else if, check whether the description is empty, then echo product description is required. Then in another else if string length, check the length of the description whether it is greater than 1000. If it is, then echo product description must be less than 1000 characters. Then in another else if, check the category. If it is less than or equal to 0, then echo please select a valid category. Then inside another else condition, we will verify the category if it exists. So here I have the variable category check. So here we will get the ID from the category table, and for the valid levels we will get the beginner, intermediate, advanced from the database, and the valid status active and inactive. So here this means that the user could modify the HTML dropdown and send fake category ID. So we have statement which prevents the SQL injection. This also prevents the fake values like expert and database corruption. After that we will handle the file uploading. First we will check whether the files exist, and then if there are files, then it ensures the file uploaded properly and no upload error. And next we will validate the image. So over here we will validate the MIME type. So over here we have used finfo dash open. So this means that we used finfo instead of extension because the user could rename the image.jpg file to another name. So this checks if the file is accurate or if it is the actual file, and then we will check later the size of the file, which limits the image to 5 megabytes. So this means it prevents the storage abuse and server overload. And below that we have a create upload directory if not exists. So this means that this will connect to the directory, so it can ensure it connects to the correct absolute path and work regardless of where the script is executed. So over here I have added two folders. So first we have the upload file over here, and then inside that I have made a folder product. So when a user uploads a product, then it will save in this folder. Now below that we will check is the directory upload directory. So in here this means it creates the folder if it doesn't exist, and then next we will generate a unique file name. So in this structure we have the variable file extension that is assigned to path info inside brackets image name and the path info extension. And then I have again a variable file name that is equal to product dash dot user id in brackets dash dot time dot in again brackets dash dot bin2 hex inside brackets random bytes 4, and then in brackets dot extension file. So here this means that the user ID identifies the seller, the time means the timestamp, then random bytes means it adds extra security, and then extension means it keeps the file format. So this prevents the file from overwriting, guessable file names and collision. After we generate a unique file name, we will move the uploaded file. So this moves the file from temporary folder to permanent uploads folder. If it fails, it returns an error, failed to upload image, please try again. And after that we will insert the product to the database. So here the database insertion is insert into the product table, the seller ID, category ID, title, description, price, level, status, image URL, and then the values. And over here this IISS DSSS means that the first is the integer, the seller ID, the second is also an integer, the category ID, the title is a string, then the description is also a string, the price is a decimal, the level is also a string, the status is also a string, and the image URL also is a string. So this prevents the SQL injection and bind parameters securely. After the database insertion, we will handle the errors and clean it up. So this means over here inside a if else condition, if the result goes then echo success, else delete the uploaded file on error, unlink the file path, and echo failed to register the product. Please try again. So this means that it deletes the uploaded image because it prevents the orphan files and the storage waste. After that, in the catch block, we have the exception $E. So this will delete the uploaded file on error. So here also, in a if condition, if the file exists, then the file path will be deleted. So here, if the error happens, it deletes the uploaded file and returns the error message, and this prevents the system crash. This actually handles the unexpected database errors. Okay, as you can see, here's our register new product page. So you can go to this page from the home page when you click on create skills. And now in this page you can first enter the product title and now the product description. So after that we will select a category, data science, then the price 18,500, then a level intermediate, and now I will select a status active, and here I will add my product image, and now I will select a image. So from here I will add this and open it. So over here you can also see that you can remove the image. So if I click on it, you can see my image removed from this, and if I select it again, it selects, and then after that, and if now I click on register product, you can see that a success message will come and disappear within 5 seconds. And if I click on cancel, you can see that it takes me to the seller dashboard.php file. And now if I go to here and go to my main home page, you can see that here my newly registered product is added in the home page. Now if I go to my database here, you can see that my product has been inserted in the product table. Now as a conclusion, in this task 13, I have successfully implemented secure session validation, client-side validation, server-side validation, secure file uploading, unique file naming, prepared statements, error handling, and automatic cleanup. This ensures security, data integrity, user experience, and professional backend logic. This completes the product registration programming process for my Skillshop project task 13. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.